equations of circles. Okay, can you quickly give me a brief overview of what we did yesterday, Anika, so that it will be a revision for you as well?
So yesterday we learned about equations of circles, and we learned how to complete the square and how to basically when like a quadratic in circle is like in within one equation, we have to use the formula for circles, the standard formula, like x minus k plus y minus h.
No, no, x minus h whole square plus
Yeah,
y minus k.
squared. In order to find the value of the radius squared.
Perfect. So this is what we did, and excuse me. So we saw that if the equation of a circle is not given to us in the standard form, for example, here we saw that in this case the equation of the circle was not given to us in the standard form. Instead, this was given to us in the expanded form. This is called the expanded form. Now by looking at this equation, we cannot find out the center and the radius. So we saw how to convert this equation into the standard form by completing the square method, and then we can tell the values of the center and the radius, right? Okay, Anika, so are you confident that you can convert any expanded form into standard form? If I give you any standard form equation, would you be able to convert it into standard form?
Um, I maybe.
Do you want to try out a problem?
Oh yeah, I'll try out a problem.
Okay, so that I know that you are good with that concept. Okay, I'll give you one equation and try to convert it into standard form. Okay, so equation is x square minus 8x plus y square plus 10y plus 37 is equal to 0. Right now this is the expanded form. I want you to
We'll have to
convert it
convert it to standard form.
standard form, and I will also write the expanded standard form here. It is given by x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. So you have to convert this equation into this one. Okay, and as always I will set up a timer so that you feel that pressure. This time I'll give you 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, so your time starts now. Okay, so the time is up.
I didn't finish the question, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
almost.
Okay.
Um,
Do you need
so
some more time?
yes, please.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I'm not sure,
Mm-hmm.
but would the answer be 8x minus 8 squared plus y plus 10 squared is equal to 127?
Wait a second. Okay, you said x minus. Can you repeat
8
that? Okay, x minus 8 whole square plus
plus y plus 10 squared
y plus 10 whole square and
is equal to
mm-hmm.
127.
No, that is not correct. But can you tell me your steps so that I can correct you if at which step you made a mistake? I'll try to correct it. So can you tell me your steps, Anika?
Okay. So first, what I was doing, I had to complete the square.
Hmm.
So, first, I um, for x squared minus 8x, what I did
Hmm.
was that I made that into x squared minus 16x plus 64 minus 64.
No,
And
no, 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 no. This is that's not how we complete a square. So if you remember yesterday, what we need to do is, okay, when we are trying to complete the square, we don't take the square of this 8. I think you took square of 8, which is 64, right?
yes,
That's what you did, right? 8 square 64,
yes,
you did plus 64. Okay,
yes.
so if you remember, we take this coefficient, which is negative 8, negative 8, take negative 8, we divide that by 2.
Oh, that's what I forgot. I didn't divide the numbers by 2.
Yes, first you divide that by 2, and then whatever you get, you take its square.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you missed the first step. So you take negative 8 by 2, that is negative 4, and then you take its square, so that is going to be 16. Okay, now you do plus 16 and minus 16. Okay, so you get x square minus 8x, you do this plus 16 and you do minus 16. So now can you tell me for y square plus 10y, can you tell me for y square plus 10y?
Well, what I did, um, y squared plus 10y.
Hello.
And get 5, so it'd be y squared plus 10y plus 25 minus 25.
Perfect, that is correct. So is my screen visible? Yeah,
Yes,
okay. So you got y square plus 10y plus 25, and you also do a minus 25.
yes,
Perfect. So now this is absolutely correct. And you also have this plus 37.
yes.
Okay. Now tell me
Originally,
the next step.
I
Hmm.
wasn't sure originally, so I moved the 37 to the other side.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
completely fine. You can move 37 on the other side. So you get is equal to negative 37.
okay. So x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 16 plus y squared plus 10y plus 25 minus 25 is equal to negative 37. And so that means okay, so times 16. So it would be x x minus 4 squared
Hmm.
um minus
Plus,
16.
yeah,
Oh wait,
you
no,
can
I
do,
keep that. Oh,
yeah, I mean, okay, you can do that in the next step, but x minus 4 whole square, then you write the whole square of y.
okay. So x minus 4 whole square
Mm-hmm.
um plus y plus 5 whole square
Perfect, yeah, and then
minus
minus 16
16,
minus 25,
which is equal to 41,
41,
negative 40.
negative 41.
So x. So I add that to the other side
Yeah,
and get 4.
and 4. That's it. That's your equation in the standard form.
Okay.
Okay. Now, by looking at this equation, can you tell me the coordinates of the center and the radius?
So center coordinates would be negative 4 comma 5.
No. You compare it with this equation, Anika. This is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square. What is the value of h?
Negative 4.
No. Think about it. Okay, let me write it just below
Oh, wait,
this.
it would it would be the opposite. It would be
Yes.
4 and then negative 5.
Yes. So you have to be really careful with this, because now I'll tell you what will happen. They will give you this question and they will give you some options, and the first option that they'll give you negative 4 comma 5 and 4 comma negative 5, and most of the students will select option A. You have to be really careful here, okay? So you just always compare it with the standard form. So here your negative 4 is equal to negative h, right? Your negative 4 is equal to negative h. So h is equal to 4, and for y, 5 is equal to negative k. So your k is equal to negative 5. So the center is 4 comma negative 5. This is something you need to be really careful, because it would actually hurt me if you got to this step, if you're getting till this step and then you're selecting the wrong option, then that would be really painful for me. Okay. Okay, so now do you feel confident that if you get any equation in expanded form, you will be able to convert it into a standard form?
Ye-
Yeah,
yes, but I think I need to memorize the standard
that,
form.
yeah. This is standard form is something you need to memorize. X minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. This is something that it should be, stuck in your brain like anything.
Okay.
Okay, this is really important. You cannot forget this. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you a short. Okay, and what is the radius of this circle?
2.
2. Perfect. Now I'm gonna tell you a shortcut. By using that shortcut, you can directly find out the coordinates of the center and the radius, and you won't have to convert the equation into standard form. You won't have to do all of this. You won't have to do completing the square and all of this. Okay, so I'll tell you a shortcut. And for that, so this is your this is the expanded form, x square minus 8x plus y square plus 10y plus 37 is equal to 0. There is a general form for this. I'm gonna write the general form, Anika. The general form is given by x square plus 2 times gx plus y square plus 2 times f of y plus c is equal to 0. So if the equation is given to us in expanded form, then the coordinates of the center are actually negative g comma negative f. I'll take this example and explain this to you. And the radius is given by square root of g square plus f square minus c. Okay, so what is happening here? What are g, what is g, what is f, and what is c? Okay, Anika, I want you to compare this equation with this equation. Actually, I'm going to write it here. So we have x square minus 8x plus y square plus 10y plus 37 is equal to 0. I want you to compare these two equations and let me know if you can find out the value of g, f, and c. Value of g,
Um,
value of
would G be -4? And
yes.
then
Mm-hmm.
F would be um 5. Do I, in order to find it, because it's 2, like G of X, do I have to divide
Yes,
the 8 or 10 by 2?
exactly, because if we compare these two equations, here coefficient of x is negative 8 and here coefficient of x is 2g. So we set them equal, so 2g is equal to negative 8, so g is actually negative 4. And similarly,
Okay.
coefficient of y is 10 and here coefficient of y is 2f, so we set them both equal, so 2f is equal to 10 and f is equal to 5. So f is 5. And what is c?
Is C is 37?
c is 37. So now when you have the values of g, f, and c, your center is nothing but negative g comma negative f. So negative g is going to be negative of negative 4, that is positive 4, and negative f is going to be negative 5. And that's what we got
Okay.
when we did it using completing the square, right? 4 comma negative 5. So this is a shortcut. And to find out the radius, just plug in all the values here. So square root of g square, negative 4 square, that is 16. Then f square, that means 5 square, that is 25. And minus c, that means minus 37.
So square root of 4?
Square root of 4, that is 2. So the radius is 2, and that's what we got with this method as well, right?
Yes.
So this is a shortcut, and now with this shortcut you don't have to complete the square, and there's a scope of lot of mistakes happening here. You could do lot of mistakes when we are trying to complete the square. So I would suggest that always use this method to find, if you have to find out the center or radius, always use this method. Okay, it will save a lot of your time, and it will also avoid the chances of any mistakes. But sometimes they will give you a problem like this, that this is the equation and you have to convert it. They will, in the options they will give you equation like this: x minus 4 whole square plus y plus 5 whole square is equal to something, and you have to find this something, right? In that case, again, you can use this method, but it's always good to know all the methods.
Um,
You don't know how the problem can be asked. Okay. Okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to discuss. Now the next concept that I want to discuss is how to find out if a point lies inside the circle or outside the circle or on the circle. Okay, so let's say we have this circle, and let's take the same circle, x minus 4 whole square plus y plus 5 whole square is equal to 4, and let's say we have a point negative 1 comma 2. Okay, and we want to find out whether this point lies inside the circle anywhere, or it lies outside the circle, or it lies on the boundary of the circle. Okay, so first I want you to think about it, like how can we find that out geometrically? Forget about the equations. Look at this circle, and let's say that this is the center of the circle. Don't look at the equations, just look at the diagram. How can you identify whether the point is going to be inside the circle or outside the circle or on the boundary of the circle?
um, like by drawing a graph.
By drawing a graph. Okay. Okay, think about it, Anika. Let's say that that point is outside the circle. Let's assume. Okay. Then in that case, would you say that radius of the circle will be less than the distance between the center and this point? If this is the radius of the circle and this is the distance between the center and the point, let's say this is the point and this is, we are assuming that it is outside of the circle, then do you agree with this, that the radius of the circle will be less than the distance between the center and the point?
So the radius would be less.
Yeah, first just visualize this. Are you able to see that? Obviously, see this radius, this length is going to be the radius, right?
Yes.
And if the point is outside, then can I say that the length of the radius is going to be less than the distance between, like this distance, this whole distance? Do you
I
agree
think
with this?
yes.
Right. And if the point is inside the circle, let's say if the point is inside the circle and this is the center, then in that case the radius will be, the length of the radius in this case is, radius is greater than this length, the distance between the point and the center. Now this length has become shorter than the radius, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in third case, if the point lies exactly on the circle, then can you say that the radius will be exactly same as the distance between the center and the point?
Yes.
Yes, so that is exactly what we will do. We will first find out the distance between, we will find out the distance between the given point and the center. Okay? Okay, Anika? And
Yes.
let's say that this distance is, let's say, d units. I'm just assigning it a variable. Let's say that this distance is d units. Then in the first case, if the point was outside the circle, if the point is outside the circle, then in this case I can say that my radius will be less than this distance, right?
Yes.
Now can you tell me for inside, if the point lies inside the circle, then what will be the
And
relationship
the
between?
radius be greater than the distance?
Exactly. And then finally, if the point lies on the circle,
Then it would be the same length.
then the radius will be exactly equal to the distance between the point and the circle. Okay, so let's do this problem. Now I have this point and we have to determine whether this point lies inside the circle or outside the circle or on the boundary of the circle. So that means we need to find out the value of d. We need to find out the distance between the given point and the center, right? So what are the
Yes.
coordinates of the center
Um,
for this circle? What are the coordinates of the center?
is it -1, 2?
Negative 1 comma 2. How did you get negative 1 comma 2?
I thought you had wrote it up
No, no, this
before.
is the point. This is the point that
Oh,
we,
okay.
yeah,
So so then the center will be 4 comma -5.
exactly. So the center is negative, sorry, 4 comma negative 5. And we have this point. So first step will be, we will find out the distance between the center and this point. This point is negative 1 comma 2. So can you quickly find out the distance between these 2 points by using the distance formula? You remember the distance formula we did yesterday?
Um, root of um root of
Root of
x
x1 minus
x
x2 whole
minus.
square.
Wait, so okay.
This is, let's say, x1, y1, x2, y2.
Okay. So I'm getting root of 34.
Root of 34. Okay, let me just quickly do it. So -5, -7, -749, and 515. What did you say? Root of 34?
Yes.
Can you check your calculations, Anika? Because I am getting root 74. 4,
Oh,
4
well,
minus 1.
yeah.
Sure.
It would be. I made a mistake. I added 2 to -5 instead of subtracting 2 from -5.
Okay. So this is what you should be getting, right? 4 minus -1 square, that is 5. Okay, so I want you to do one thing, Anika. Now we also have to work on uh, the time that we take to do a problem. Okay, so now if
Okay.
you want to reduce the time that you're taking for doing these calculations should not take you more than 20 seconds. Okay, for example, this one. So what you need to do is, in order to do this faster, try to do as much calculations as possible in your head. Okay, so how will you do these calculations in your head? You have to think loudly. So you see this and you think in your mind. Okay, you think in your mind 4 minus -1 will be 4 plus 1, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So 5 square is 25. So you write 25. So you need to avoid writing as much as possible. Okay,
Okay.
avoid
Okay.
writing as much as possible. And then
Okay.
plus, you have y1 minus y2. See, I'm not writing anything, I'm just thinking. So next we have
Yes.
y1 minus y2. y1 is -5, y2 is 2. So you'll do -5 minus 2, which will be -7, and -7 whole square will be 49. So you only write 49.
Okay.
Okay, and then you just have to add it. So 9 plus 5 is 14, 1 carried over. So 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 1 7. So we are getting square root of 74. This is the distance between the center and that point, -1 2. Okay, and now we have to compare this value with the radius of the circle. So what was the radius of the circle, Anika?
The radius of the circle was 2.
2. Okay, and what about this value now? How will you compare it with 2? Whether this is greater than 2 or less than 2 or equal to 2. This is a square root.
Wouldn't I have to simplify it? Or.
Yeah. So how will you how so you don't have to find out the exact value of square root of 74. You just have to know whether it is less than 2, or it is greater than 2, or it is equal to, well, obviously it's not equal to 2. Yeah.
It would be greater, right? Because well, the closest number that I can think of is 64, and root of 64 is 8.
Perfect. Yes, so the closest perfect square is 64, and well, 64 is square of 8. 8 is greater than 2. So this value,
So that means it's outside
it's
of the
outside.
circle.
It's outside because now this distance is greater than 2.
Okay.
So this point is outside the circle. Okay, so this is how you find out whether the point lies outside or inside the circle. Okay, I hope this was clear, Anika.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's come to the next topic. The next topic is arc length and sector area. Okay, have you heard of these terms before, arc length and sector area? Okay, What do you understand by arc length?
Basically a length of a segment on a circle.
Perfect.
And
Hmm. So if you take some particular portion, let's say we take this portion, this length, or as you mentioned, segment. This is also called arc, okay?
okay.
And its meaning is whatever we can call it, some portion of the circumference, some portion of the boundary or segment. So this is called the arc. And now how can we find out the length of this arc? Okay, so in order to,
Maybe
yeah, go on.
I was
Hmm.
do we multiply the angle value?
Yes, we are going to need the angle value. We're definitely going to need the angle value. Okay, so the length of this arc, we call it arc length. All you need to do is you need to find out that this arc, this portion, is what fraction of the circumference of the circle. Okay, this arc is what fraction of the circumference of the circle. So for that, what you will do is we need to know this angle. Okay, let's say that this angle is, 36 degrees. Okay, so now first you need to find out that this angle is what fraction of the total angle, Anika?
10.
10, exactly. So we do this angle divided by 360. Okay, so that gives you 10, and then you multiply that by the circumference of the circle. What is the formula for circumference of the circle?
Um, radius times pi times 2.
Yes, 2 pi r. So that's what you will do. You will take the central angle. So now let's say that this central angle is theta. 36 was a very general example. Let's assume that the central angle is theta. Okay, and then you will divide that angle by 360 in every case. Okay, so
Okay.
let's
Um,
say, yeah, tell me.
so basically, the arc length is equal to the central angle value divided by 360 times the circumference.
Exactly. So what are the two things that you should know if you want to find out the arc length? You should know the central angle and you should know the radius. If you have the
Okay.
central angle and you have the radius, then you can find out the length of the arc. Okay,
Okay.
now sector area. Now let's say you want to find out this entire area. Then you'll do the same thing. You will take the central angle, you'll divide that by 360, and this time instead of multiplying it by the circumference, you'll multiply it by the area of the whole circle. So what is the area of the circle?
Um, r squared times pi.
R square times pi, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay, let's do a problem. So whether you have to find out the arc length or you have to find out the sector area, you should know only two things. First is the central angle and the radius of the circle. Okay,
Okay.
so let's say we have this circle, and now and these are two tangents. Anika, do you know what are tangents?
Yes, like lines that um like touch the circle.
Yes, lines that touch the circle. Okay, so we have these two tangents, and give me a second. Okay, it's been given that this point is L, this point is N, and this point is M. Okay, and it's given that this angle is 60 degrees, and then this is the center of the circle, this is the radius, this is the radius. Okay, and we have to find out the length of this arc. Okay, this arc that I have highlighted by red color, and also radius is also given. This radius is given to us as 8 units. Okay, you think about it, what comes to your mind? How can you find out the length of this arc?
Well, I thought you'd
First,
multiply
multiply.
the angle by 2.
Which angle by 2?
Um, Angle M.
Okay, so you're saying that this angle will be 2 times this angle?
I thought, but
Okay,
I'm not sure.
okay. So Anika, first of all, this is not a proven result that central angle will be 2 times this particular angle. So this approach might not work. It might work or might not work because this is not a proven thing. Okay, okay, first let's
Okay.
think about it. If we want to find out the length of this arc, then what do we need?
Length of the arc. Then
What are the two
we
things
need
that we need?
radius,
Radius we already have, and what else do we need? Radius is 8
the
units.
central angle.
The central angle, so the central angle is this angle,
Yes.
right? So that means we need to find out this angle. Okay, okay, now there is one theorem that I haven't taught you yet, but we will be doing that theorem when I teach you the properties of circles. That theorem tells us that whenever a tangent whenever there is a tangent to a circle, then every tangent is perpendicular to the radius. What did I say? Can you repeat?
Whenever there is a tangent to the circle, every tangent is perpendicular to the circle.
Perpendicular to the radius.
Oh, sorry,
Okay,
radius.
so every tangent is perpendicular to the radius. So this tangent, this is perpendicular to this radius at the point of tangency, of course. So this is the point, this is called the point of tangency. So at this point, when you'll draw a radius, so this radius and this tangent will be perpendicular. That means this angle will be 90 degrees. And similarly, this tangent is going to be perpendicular to this radius, ON. So this angle will be 90 degrees. Okay.
Okay.
Now if you see this quadrilateral OLMN, OLMN, this is a quadrilateral.
Yes, because it has four.
Yeah, it is. It has four sides. Okay, I'm drawing it here. Okay, you know it's this angle is 60, you know this angle is 90, you know this angle is 90. Can you find out the remaining angle?
Yes. Um,
How?
um, so I have to add all the angles that I have and then subtract that sum from 360.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me what will be the fourth angle?
180 plus 60 is equal to 240.
Mm-hmm.
So 240, so 360 minus 240 is equal to 120.
120. So this angle is 120. So although here you see that 120 is actually 2 times 60, but this might not happen every time. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So now you have this angle. Then now can you find out the length of the arc?
Yes. So
Hmm.
120 over 360
Hmm.
times 16 pi.
Times 16 pi. Okay.
So that's 1/3 times 16 pi,
Mm-hmm.
which is 16 pi over 3.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
16 pi over 3. Okay. So my point is that in the questions, they will not straight away give you the value of the central angle and the radius directly. They will give you some other information, and you'll have to find out the central angle or the radius by using some other concepts. Okay?
Okay.
The first one,
Yes.
let me bring out the.
The-
Yeah. So here you have in the circle, AB is a tangent to the circle. We'll just do the first part, okay? Today. Find the area of the shaded region. We'll only do the
oh,
first part. Do you see the shaded region?
yes. Miss Brenda, is it okay if you increase your screen just a little bit, please?
What? What do you want me to do?
Uh, and zoom in
Zoom in.
on
Oh,
the.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Is it fine now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so let's just do part A. Find the area of the shaded region. So this is the shaded region.
Yes. Find the area of the shaded region. So would I have to find the angle of the triangle and then the no, sorry, not the angle, area of the triangle and then area of the circle and then the difference in that?
Perfect, perfect. So if you find out the area of this triangle AOB, and then from that you take out the area of this sector,
Okay, this
right?
sector.
Sector,
And
yeah.
yes.
Then what you'll be left with will be this shaded region. You're absolutely fine with the approach. Okay, so we need to find out the area of this triangle. So how can you find out the area of the triangle?
Wouldn't I just do uh hold the radius is 12. Would the sides be the same like measure like same value because it's like the 45, 45, 90
Perfect.
theorem?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did you say that this is 90?
Well, if oh, oh, right. Well,
I just told you the theorem,
yeah.
tangent
So,
theorem.
would that work for this? Because it's a tangent.
Yes, see, it's given that AB is a tangent to the circle,
Oh, okay,
right?
right.
And
So
OA
because
is
of
the
that,
radius.
it will be a 90 degree angle.
Yes, and then this will be 45. So
Okay.
this will be 12 and this will be also 12.
Okay.
Okay, so what will be the area of this triangle?
So the area of the triangle will be 72.
72. Okay, I don't know what will be. How did you get 72? Half times base times height.
So
Yeah,
140.
72. Okay, so this is 72. And then what will be the area of the sector?
So sector. So 45 over 360.
Hmm.
45 over 360. 94. So is that 1/8?
1/8 times 5 is 48, 4 is 32. Yeah, that's going to be 1/8 times 2 times pi times 12. So that's, now I think you can do it, right? You now you just have to do, you have to calculate what will be this value.
So 3 pi, I
Yeah,
think.
exactly, 3 pi. And now you just do 72 minus 3 pi. Okay, well, pi you can take 3.14 and you can get the answer. Okay,
Okay.
now we have completed equations of circles and arc length and sector area, but it's really going to be important, Anika, that you do the assignment problems that I'll be sending you. Okay, because in the class we'll be able to practice one or two or maximum three problems, but
I
the
need to do
yes,
outside practice.
the more you practice the different
The
types of
more,
questions, yes, and it's also about the different types of questions that you come across. Okay, the more
okay,
beneficial it will be. So I will be sending you practice assignments. First is from yesterday's class, you can do that, that is on equations of circles, and today I'll send you one more assignment that will have questions from arc length and sector area.